Where's the music? This is so strange.
We're live and we're just looking at the countdown.
We're just looking at the countdown. I'm like, okay, whatever,
Right?
StreamYard. Cool. Oh, it's not on your channel.
Oh. Oh well.
Beautiful people. We are live. We having some issues because of StreamYard, not really our own. But welcome to the WatchyoB3STFriends channel. We back and we black.
Yes, we are back and we black, and we are here. We are. We are live back on this channel. It's been a while since we've been on this channel. I think we haven't been here since March or February or March, one of those months. So we are back a little bit. We're gonna try to come up with consistent topics. This one was a given. Because Mrs. Best over there on her channel is reviewing the show called This Is Polly. If y'all have not seen that recap, all me and Mrs. Best could do was laugh the entire time because we're like, what is this? Why is this? Thank you for this. But oh my goodness, this is what we were doing the entire time. So it actually gave me kind of some motivation and some inspiration to do a topic. And I called it Love Triangles or Trade Propositions. Do y'all know the difference between the two? All right, let me educate you. So love triangles is your average cheating. Usually some people or no people don't know about each other and they find out at the moment where it's catastrophic or when the relationship is ending. Trade propositions are your average consensual things. They may know about what's going on, they may not care, or they may try to outdo you, but there is a difference between the two. So we have our, polyamory, we have our swingers, we have lots of different situations that we have now in today's time. So what I tried to do was, since we saw This Is Polly and was inspired of it, I went back and looked at maybe old movies that kind of had similar but not so similar situations. And when I did that, I had to look up the definitions. So what is infidelity? So infidelity is a violation of a prior agreement made between parties regarding their sexual or emotional exclusivity, which each person considers infidelity may differ. For example, one partner may consider watching pornography or viewing erotic stimulation as cheating, while others doesn't. Or one partner may perceive infidelity to be only sexual, while another believes an emotional affair is much as a violation. So we saw this, emotional cheating, Love and Hip Hop, for example. Mendices accused Yandy of emotional cheating, even though I believe it was physical too. We saw, I knew of a person who did consider watching pornography as a sense of cheating. I do know somebody like that. One of my really good friends, she has caught her boyfriend. He had a serious porn addiction for a very long time. And she told him it's cheating. Hi, Shandy. Thank you for being here. And then I had to, because when I looked at This Is Polly, I was like, is polyamory considered cheating? And it's actually not. It is not considered cheating. It is the honesty based on all partners' involvement. And all parties must be aware of the relationship they are entering or enthusiastically consenting to be a part of it. That doesn't mean that everyone in polyamorous relationships must identify as polyamorous or dating multiple partners. There are plenty of happy mono-poly relationships, but it does not mean that cheating on a partner that you have been monogamous is not part of any deception or relationships that calling polyamory when other partners are involved or not involved. So you could be in a polyamorous relationship and not participate. I did not know that. I said, well, then what's the point? So I had a lot of questions, y'all. So I figured this would be a great topic to talk about since me and Mrs. Best are learning about the different avenues of polyamory and then also trying to relate it to a time where we grew up where you really didn't see it as often. Like when we were growing up, you didn't see this. You just did not. It was something that if it existed, it was very well hidden. Or it looked like something different. It looked like, just having two baby mamas that just argue and fight. That's what it looked like back in our time. Mrs. Best, do you agree with that?
No, I think polyamory has always been happening. I think now in today's time, people are more open. Like, it's safer to be gay in the open today than it was in 1997. It's just a fact. It polyamory seems to be getting extremely popular. I do feel like shows like Sister Wives and shows like Love After Lockup have definitely made people feel safer to come out, but I do think it's always happened. Um, a lot of people end up confused between infidelity and polyamory, which I don't personally understand, because polyamory is something that should be discussed. So there's like an agreement to the people you're sleeping with, versus infidelity is usually like secretive. But it's definitely, I feel like a lot of people who go into this either are sex addicts and can't admit it, have childhood trauma that they don't want to work through, or they've just simply given up and have been through the ringer with dating and are at the point where they're like, F it, they'll try anything. I haven't seen anybody enter it who has not had a trauma, is what I'm saying. So that makes me look at polyamory a little weird, like with a side eye, a little bit.
So yeah, that honestly, watching this as poly, it does look like this. All of them are rooted into either some trauma or one person's favor. Like only one person really is benefiting from this, versus, and the other person is trying to not seem insecure in the relationship while seemingly insecure in the relationship. That's what this is poly was giving us. So that's why I wanted to do this, because I'm like, listen, I'm willing to interview, talk with anybody who will be willing to give me 30 minutes of your free time that is in a poly relationship. You can be mixtures of male and female, all female. I really want to know from your perspective, not on a reality TV show. I really want to know how this works and how this works for you. And is everybody equally is happy? Is everybody equally in agreement? How do the sexual encounters work? I don't need to know all your business. I just need to know, does everybody get pleasured? Is there certain people who pleasure certain people? I just need to know, because for me, it just, I don't know. I'm just not. I'm trying to get on board with this, but I cannot. So hopefully, somebody changes my mind. I'm not saying I would ever do it, but I would love to get to know it better, because I was stunned at the stuff that I saw. Like, I cannot put that into bigger words, but we have to now talk about this a second time. But I have 3 classic films, because me and Mrs. Best are talking about opening up this channel to talk about old school movies and movies that we enjoy, movies that we saw as kids that we may see differently as an adult, aka Soul Food was one for me. I always thought Terry was mean. No, Terry was the victim the entire time. So it was like, yeah. So I have 3 movies that are all rooted in infidelity or consensual polyamory, aka boomerang. So, and people can say what you want about boomerang. Angela's character knew exactly what was going on, still wanted to participate. That is polyamory to me. Sorry, it is. Just one person wanted to beat the other person, because she was fine with it. Well, I wouldn't say necessarily fine with it. She was mad at it, but she ain't going nowhere either. So yeah. And then we have Indecent Proposal, where you're caught between a rock and a hard place, where you have a woman who is propositioned for $1 million to sleep with this man while being married to another man. And then we have Unfaithful, where a lady just lost her mind, got a hit of something just one time and could not get enough of it, and kept going and going back and putting herself in also some legal trouble, both her and her husband. So we have a lot going on right now with this. So I just hang on one second, y'all. I have a phone call. 1 second.
And now we wait. Well, if it makes anybody feel better while he's doing whatever it is that he is doing.
Sorry, y'all.
I
When
don't
my
care for
mama,
any of these movies but one.
which one did you not care
The
for?
only movie I care about really is Boomerang. The others, where are the black films? Like,
Oh, trust me. Well, here's the thing. We had a mixture of couples. I could see if they were all black. and this is Polly, then that kind of would make me say, okay, well, we need to be like all strictly there. But they were all mix of people, so I had to have a mix of people here as well. So we're gonna start with unfaithful. So we have a lady. I think this is Diane Keaton, if I'm not mistaken, and we have Richard Gere. They are the married couple. She meets this man randomly, starts to acquaint a friendship with him. And then things cross wires. They didn't hit it off. Then they start having sex. Unbeknownst to her husband, he has no idea this is going on. He's suspicious because she keeps saying, I'm going here, I'm going there, but really she is with this man and she can't let this man go. It gets crazy. Her husband ends up killing the man in the movie. And then, almost gets caught. But white people in these movies don't do that, do the crime, but don't do the time kind of situation. Because it goes off to where they find themselves back with each other, and then that's all that it is. So I started thinking to myself, do you think that this could be a way of how polyamorous relationships work, where maybe somebody finds somebody else cheat on them, but then bring them into the situation and act like, because I'm trying not to jump ahead of This Is Polly, but I wonder if like somebody was cheating with somebody the whole time and then brought them in a situation.
I don't
Do
think
you-
that counts as polyamory. See, a lot of people mistake it for like scandalous stuff like that, but it really is an agreement that's usually discussed.
So you don't think that one person in like one
No,
couple?
if you're cheating with the one person and then you end up with them, then okay, you've cheated and ended up with the person you cheated with. But then if you and that person, once you're together, decide to introduce someone else into it, then yeah, that counts as polyamory, but it's still something discussed and wanted. There's no like scandal around it. If that makes sense.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah, I'm trying to, as I said, I'm trying to figure out, because I do agree. I don't think this is poly or not, but poly at
No,
all. But I think
polyamory should in no way be compared, in my opinion, to cheating, just because the two things are different. Technically, if you're in a polyamorous relationship with someone, you're in a relationship with that person and another person or another four people, Lord, but you're in a relationship with other people, the multiple people that you're having sex with, you're agreeing upon. Now, if you go out and you're supposed to be in a poly relationship and then you start sleeping with somebody else who wants to be strictly monogamous and you're not telling your polycule, I think they called it, about it, then that's cheating. But the idea of polyamory as a whole, I don't agree with it, but it doesn't align with cheating. But I can see why a lot of people would align it with cheating, because we're just trained to think in like the monogamous mindset for the most part.
so. Let me ask you a question, because this is one thing that I was thinking about watching This Is Polly, is that especially with the one guy with the name that everybody had to take his name, and like you had whatever his name was, Jasmine, and yeah, that one. So you don't think with him especially that he hadn't tried it before he brought them to the other women? Do you think they all sit in the line and then interview people like the
No,
lesbian couple?
no, because it seems like he explained too, they have an agreement. So it sounds like how he told the lady, the one that's his favorite for the moment, how he told her, what if I bring other queens? It sounds like they know that he's like going on dates. But what confused me about the Yahwehs is I'm like, what if they go on a date? Are they
Right.
only allowed to date women? So I guess it depends on the rules. That's why I was calling them in my review more cultish, versus it's more pimpish and cultish than it is like poly or
That's why I'm saying.
relationship.
That's why I said a lot of those couples confuse me. That's why I was like, okay,
I think
so
because a lot of them are trying to manipulate and BS around what polyamory is supposed to do, just so that they could have it align with their hoe activities. Hotivity.
yes. So do you think that in that situation, do you think that one of those women can turn into this woman and find her a man and get her some on the side without him knowing about it?
I mean, he's got 4 different bitches. He can't keep up with all of them. That
Well,
he
you'll
could
think
be
he got
doing.
the tracker. You'll think he
How
got the
you gonna
tracker on the
track
phone.
4 different women? And then you also got 18 kids plus one on the way. Like he can sit there and act like a king or a boss all he wants, but Yahweh don't really know the way. Okay. If somebody wanted to sneak off and have another piece of work or something on the side, they could. But I feel like he would only have a problem with it if somebody cheated with a man. And I
So
do feel like
officially,
there's a lot of sexism in the polyamory thing. Because let's call a spade a spade. Heterosexual men love to tell us, and I believe them in this and stand by this. A heterosexual person is heterosexual. I don't want to be with a woman if it's with me and my husband. I don't want to be with a woman if it's me and the woman. I just don't want to be with a woman. That would be considered heterosexual. But it seems like polyamory, at least in what we've seen in the examples that we're seeing on This Is Poly and other places, like it'd be one man and then the women are with him, but then the women are expected to also be with the women. But I always wonder, like, would the men be okay and willing to be with the man? I feel like Trent would, based on that purple dildo, but would the man be okay with that? So I think it depends. I think like a lot of things, people try to find ways to make it suit and align with what works for them in their head. But a definition is a definition, baby. You just
Hi,
gotta
Naya.
by it.
So this would be considered a love triangle. This movie.
A love triangle. He did kill the husband, so I guess, or the husband killed, I think, the side.
The side dude, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie honestly since like 2000.
I love this movie. It's one of my favorites. It's just because it's so crazy, the lengths that she was going to go through just to get to this bed was just crazy. So next we have Boomerang. Now, a lot of people think that Boomerang is a love triangle, and I don't think it is. I do not think it is. I really think this is a trade proposition.
She said, and I oop a purple what now? Girl.
Good. You ain't watched This Is Polly? This is why this live is existing, because I can't wrap my mind around this show. Like, to me, this looks like I get reality TV has some script in it, but this is not giving me scripted at all. This is really these people's lives, and they really is doing this at the best of they did, like necessity. But Boomerang is the story about a man who's considered the player, and he ends up finding, because he was sleeping around with lots of different women. He had lots of different critiques he likes about women. So there was no perfect woman for him in his mind. So he would go out there, slang it all around and all of this. And then he meets his boss, who he does not know he's his boss because he thinks he's taking over the company. She is this very well put together woman, very smart, very beautiful, very intelligent. But she sees his game from a mile away and she doesn't play with it. She says very distinctly, I don't work with men. I don't date men I work with. I don't play around with y'all. I don't want you. I'm letting you know this up front. This ain't this kind of party. So in very evil tinless, she enlists this artist to work with him, not knowing, because I saw this came a mile away. She was trying to get him occupied with another woman, so she ain't got to be around him. And if she wanted to get with him, she would, which is what she ended up doing. So she was the mastermind of this situation, because as soon as she flipped that table on him, he then became all of the women he was sleeping around with. She started playing little games like leaving $200 on the table after they would fuck. She would, play mind games with them, acting like she liked them, but really she didn't. All of the things that he would do, she basically turned the tables on that ass. Then Angela, who was Halle Berry in this movie with short hair, for those of y'all who do not know, but she was the cleanup woman. She was the woman that, was trying to date with one of his friends. It didn't work out. She kind of fell a liking to him, became his friend, started going over to his house, and then one thing led to another. Then they started fucking. He still was hung up on this other woman, while she was in the cut, just sitting there watching Kim make googly eyes, look at her. And then one night he stepped out, slept with her, came back home, act like nothing was wrong. She got mad, but ended up taking him back. Now, the reason why I call this a trade proposition is because I feel like, to me, I see this story all the time. But normally this story usually has babies involved. Normally, a lot of the times. And it's kind of like Nick Cannon's baby's mamas. We have one that's out there saying that she's the main one. She's the most important. They only have one baby together. She gets the top of the crop. Meanwhile, his ex-wife is, the sensation legend that she is, but that's neither here nor there. So the reason why I call this a trade proposition is that I feel like these women would be okay with each other and sharing this man. That is a trade proposition. That's not a love triangle. Because it's about claiming territory and property that really isn't yours, but because you feel like you have something with him, you want to make him yours. That's what trade propositions are for me. Now, Mrs. Best is going to disagree with me. I already know, but
Disagree with you about what?
This be the trade proposition, because a lot of people think this is a love triangle, and I don't believe it.
It's definitely a love triangle. If you are aware of the person and then you still forgiving them and still going back and forgiving them, if each person is aware of the other person, it's a love triangle. If that wasn't the case, I say it's a trade proposition, but it can go either way. But it more so aligns with the love triangle, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But Boomerang was a mess.
It was a mess. So let me ask you a question. Who do you think was in this movie? We're just speaking off of like just character perspective, not who they are in real life. But who do you think was more, I don't want to say the term ignorant, but who do you think was more of lust of Marcus? Was it Angela or was it Jacqueline in this
Probably
movie?
Jacqueline.
Why would you say that?
I haven't watched the movie in a minute, but if Robin Givens is playing you, then you was lustful. That's one thing I know to be true about the 90s and the 80s. Okay.
Yeah, I think to me it was Angela more so, Halle Berry's character, that lust over him a lot more. I feel like to me, she didn't think she competed with Jacqueline. That's why she gave in a lot. And that's why she, took him back, because he did some grimy shit. He didn't want to claim her. He didn't want to say he was around her when it came to that lady. He did a lot of grimy shit. And to me, that's why I said in polyamorous terms, if we talking about this is it, everybody got claimed. But do you remember the foursome couple, how some felt slighted? And it was that one, I can't think of her name.
Naya said Eddie Murphy was probably moving like this in real life. He absolutely was. And now his ex-wife is too.
Child, she learned from the best, didn't she? Because I tell you, that lady outside.
All the time.
That lady outside. Okay.
Said they all had hers, so she gonna have all of theirs. Lord.
But but I just feel like, so what happens when you love somebody and then they tend to love somebody else more? Like, what happens in that situation when you're with them, but they love the other person more? Because that was another thing.
Love somebody else more, they really don't love you. Love is not something that's hidden. Love is not something that is quiet. Love is something that is there all the time. And love is something that will not have you with one person at 10 o'clock and go on the bed with a different person at 9 o'clock. So think if your spouse has someone else in general, there's no such thing as loving somebody else more. If you could love somebody else more, then you don't love me. It's that simple.
But see, we see that, and then we think, because like I said, the couples that they showed us on This Is Polly, we only have one example of that. That was blatant. I will say that was blatant. Like, you could see it because he promised her something that he normally would not do, or said that that's not what they're going to do. What would make her so special? Like, I'm talking about the lady he took out to dinner. Like, what would make that more special that you would break your own rules to go and be with somebody?
I mean, again, it all comes back to what I said. If you truly love somebody, you're not going to break your own rules for one of them in that situation. That's why I say they're not really a good example of poly. They just there for TV. I swear to God, they're just there for TV. Because even in a poly situation, if you equally do have that love, like, you're not going to go and treat one person different from the other. There's a lot of them that do it right, but we got to count on WeTV to show us the people doing it wrong.
Yeah, we need to show, because I agree with that. Like, because this to me, they weren't a good example of poly. Like, I get they fit the definition technically, but when we look at the
Said if you
definition,
love somebody else, good luck in your travels. Right. That is not love. It will never be love. And I think that that's the thing. And that's kind of what polyamory is when you think about it, is people trying to find ways to manipulate and situate relationships, love, and sex in a way that works for them versus what love really is, which is just between a person. Like I love my friends, but I don't love them the way I love my husband. So I can't imagine loving two people the way I love my husband. I feel like
but
that's
is
weird.
polyamorous, is that rooted in love or is that rooted in
I don't think
physicality?
polyamory is rooted in love at all. I feel like
I
polyamory is definitely rooted in lust because nobody that we've ever seen on television anywhere, not from Sister Wives to This Is Polly, can say to us that the reason that they are with or in love with multiple people is for something outside of sex. That'd be the first thing they come back to, the thing they make a U-turn and come to when they in the middle, and at the end of it, they circle back and come right back to sex. Like that's all everybody seems to view it. And yes, sex is great, but if you actually love the person and find somebody who's good in bed, then you won't think about a second person in the bedroom or a third or a fourth or any of that. And I think
Mhm.
it's just people rushing. I think a lot of people do this. A lot of people rush love,
Yeah.
like, or rush and try to skip steps to get to love. And that's never going to give you what you actually need. You got to take your time to find out what's for you and what's not for you. But, you know, niggas will be niggas, hoes will be hoes, bitches will be bitches, and people will move stupid when it comes to relationships. That's why the single life is prevalent by so many people right now. She said greed and lust and gluttony. Yep. All of those things are sins in the Bible, by the way. Not the deadly sins of what package.
It is. It is definitely. So I get now, like, because as I said, I'm trying to wrap y'all. If I'm gonna review the show with Mrs. Best, I got to have these conversations because, as I said, I don't understand it. I'm trying not to judge it. I'm trying to get to a point where if we have these conversations, it will help me understand these type of relationships. I'm not getting in this kind of relationship. Mrs. Best is not getting in these kind of relationships. But there are people, and I think the more this generation comes up, there are people who are considering going this way. A lot of people are considering going this way because they feel that monogamy is not natural. I've heard a lot of people tell me that they feel monogamy is not natural, and usually they center it around men. That it's not natural in men to be monogamous. Now we can have that agreement that it probably isn't. Like, do you think monogamy is natural for men?
I think monogamy is natural for everybody, but I think if you look at it from a religious standpoint, from any type of religion, or if you look at it even from outside of religion, I want
Mhm.
somebody to be with me who has discipline. To have discipline is to be monogamous. That is the goal and the point and what makes marriage and a relationship worthwhile, knowing that they are choosing to ignore lust, choosing to ignore the stuff that they may crave or want, such as to be a hoe. I'm a Gemini. We are hoes. Okay. I would be thoughting and plotting and trotting, but I choose not to be for my partner. It's like if you love somebody enough, it's not just about trust and loyalty, it's about discipline and honesty. And I just kind of feel like people are quick to say monogamy is not natural because what's the Bible say? We are going to be tempted to sin. We are expected to sin. It's just about how we recover from it. I truly believe that might actually be an ideology that we should follow in life. No human is going to be perfect and live their life entirely right.
Mhm.
But when you find a person that you really care about, you'll be faithful to them. If you call any of my exes, they probably still mad for being cheated on by Mrs. Best. Listen, but I've done good with Mr. Best. So when you find your person, you become like, oh, it's just a fact, you know? That's all. When you find the right person, that discipline will be easy, but a lot of people are rushing love in those steps and finding the right person, especially because we've been trained in society in all of the countries all over the world that we need to find love, get married. If you're a man, find a wife, get a career. Like we have these cultural and societal expectations that make people want to rush stuff. I didn't mean to come at y'all
No,
on this type of
this is important because at the end of the day, as I said, in order for us to grasp the concepts of these shows that they want to put out that have these type of plots and schemes and timelines, we need to be able to understand them. And I think having these conversations help us to kind of guide, and we may be helping somebody who's conflicted. Like, I've never been conflicted to want to try this, but some people, figure, hey, I just want to be happy. And maybe this may be my key to happiness. I don't know.
People
Because I
need to
feel
figure
like
out
it's
how to be happy on their own.
right.
That's the
Right.
problem.
So now I'm going to get to the last part, the monetary, love triangle or trade proposition. I think this is more of a trade proposition because there's money involved. But this is Indecent Proposals, one of my favorite movies of all time, just because I love Demi Moore. But
Good movie too.
it is a great movie. So this movie is about a young couple. They, are married. They are going through some rough times financially. They were in a casino, and the wife character, who's played by Demi Moore, gets propositioned by this man because he can't get past how stunningly beautiful she is. And he knows that she's married. He knows all of the backstory. He knows everything because she has shared, a lot of information that I don't feel that she should have in the movie. But he propositions her of one night. I think it turned in more than one night after she did the one night. Propositioned the one night to have sex with him for $1 million. And I said, whoa. Now, I have had this conversation in many of groups, like when I was younger, like in my early 20s. I remember I was a part of like 2 movie groups, and we watched this movie. I don't think I was in a relationship at the time, but I know several people were in a relationship at this time. And a lot of people were like, hell, she could do it just as long as it's a one-time thing and we never see this person again. And I'm just like, because they said $1 million. How can you turn down $1 million? I said, well, I don't know if I could do. I was like one of the few people said, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could do it, and I don't know if I could allow the person I'm with to do it either. I just don't know. Like, I can't.
If
Like,
I'm gonna sleep with somebody for money, I need it to be life-changing money. I'm not doing the shit twice. We're not running that back. I'm gonna need a lot more than $1 million, okay? $1 million in California is the equivalent of 10,000. I'm gonna need several $1 million.
So Mrs. Best said there's a possibility for
Listen,
life-changing money only, and it's only one time.
if Jeff Bezos came up to me and was like, if you sit on it, I'll give you $60 million, I might consider. I might consider. I might have to drink a whole lot of alcohol, a whole lot of tequila, but I
I don't
might
even know what he
consider.
looks like. What does Jeff Bezos even look like?
You don't know what he looked like? He's just a
No.
bald little man.
I
Just
know,
a
girl. I
bald
tell you, I know the name. I just don't know. I don't know what none of these
What
zillionaires look
Naya saying,
like.
I hear that. Listen, it's got to be for a hell
Oh
of a lot
no, girl. Yeah. That got to be more than hell, 100 million. Hell no. What the fuck?
Oh, Lord. Elon
No.
Musk is the one billionaire, though, where I would cut that shit off. You might
You would
catch
cut it off.
something with him. Absolutely not. Nope. Sorry.
I can't see me doing this, but I'll cry about that money for right.
Years.
Like, no, like
Rich.
it's not worth it. Like, I think the objective of the movie is it's not worth it. Even though she ended up divorcing her husband in the movie, it's not worth it. Like, it really isn't. Like, you'll come to that realization that this is a trade proposition. Like, this is a trade proposition. It's not a love triangle. Her husband was well aware of her doing this. Like, it was definitely a trade proposition. But I put this as a trade proposition because it's one of those where a lot of people have to think, in terms, hey, could I do this? Could you? Or could I not? It's definitely one of those. So, but it was funny to me. That was a great movie. But do we have any couples like this that did it for monetary reasons? This is Polly.
Not really. I think the only couple that might lean into monetary reasons is the Yahwehs, because he was talking about 5 incomes is better than one. So I'm sure that in his brain is given a little bit monetary. It's hard to tell. It was just episode 1. There's a lot. I'm sure if you research like stuff online, I'm sure there's some weird A&E show or True TV something from back in the day where they have people like that. What's popping, Q1JTV? Welcome in, my darling. What is pop? Oh, I cannot see. Demi Moore is another one that always acting up in her movies all the time. She's typecast.
Mm-hmm.
She's heavily
It was
typecasted.
like, yeah, it was like Charlie's Angels, and then it was what was another movie that she had that she was acting?
She did a lot in the early 90s. Almost everything she did, though, was the same. She did start to do different stuff in the 2000s, but I never got the hype with Demi Moore.
You never
She
got
was
that
like,
with anymore?
never got the hype.
Child.
But she looked like
I
every other
think
clear lady I see, so I never understood all of that. I know she was with Ashton Kutcher for years and years and years just for him to end up marrying his co-star, but I digress.
that one where they nasty and they don't bathe and
Oh, and they
uh
defended their uh the
the
co-star, the guy
co-star.
on
I
the
remember that.
show who went down for
Yes.
essay. They defended him, wrote a
They
letter
defended
to the
him.
judge. I
Yep.
said, not y'all not washing your asses and defending the essay. That's too much.
That is too much. That's way too much. Child, let me tell you. But yeah, this was a great like trade proposition example just because it does show like those do exist out there. And it's crazy because like I said, Mrs. Best said she need life changing money. She needs 60 million.
I'm not about
Bare
to sit on
minimum.
no dick for only $1 million. One thing I know, this pussy's worth more than $1 million. Okay, absolutely not. I'm gonna need a lot more. A lot. God help us.
So Robert Redford would have to offer you $60 million.
That's not it. That's just the number that came off the top of my head. I need more. I need to know if taxes is coming out of this. I need to make sure. What did Chris Brown say? Residuals. Okay, you're not just getting this cat, this good cat.
So you don't know if you get
You
it all at
know,
one time or is it
I
going to be
need
installments?
we got to talk about this. We have a lot that we have to go over before you could just get it. I need to know how long I got to sit and squat, how long I got to bust it wide for. Am I gonna have to give you theatrics, or can I just lay there in silence? Because I mean, what we do, like, there's a lot. Are the lights off? Are you gonna do me like Nip Tuck and put a brown paper bag over my head? Like, I can't just go into something like that. We gotta discuss it.
That's a lot, Mrs. Beth. That's a lot of things.
Lord. But I will say
I
this:
was
if your man is willing to sell your coochie so that y'all can
question.
get rich, you
Yes.
might want to get a divorce.
Yeah, question everything. If he's okay with this, question everything because that's
Question
somebody
it
that is
all.
with you for monetization reasons. They're not with you for love. Because I don't know
She
how her
said,
husband
"Am
was
I getting
okay
a
with that.
piece or all of it? How many zeros are involved? What's the catch?" Right. You don't just go into it. And that's what made that movie crazy.
Yes.
Okay. It would have been more than, oh, I want you. I got to have you. I'll give you $1 million. No, we need to talk about a lot more. A lot more.
Well, she hesitated at first. She was like, I don't
She
know if I
didn't
could.
hesitate too hard.
No, she ended up doing it. Yeah. She definitely ended up doing it, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, it was definitely a circumstance for her. I don't know if I would ask as many questions as you would ask because, like, that's
Child, the coochie is a palace protected. That's what these little girls need to learn. Okay, that's why y'all pHs be off. I'm trying to tell you.
So, would we consider this gold digging?
No,
Okay,
she wasn't checking for him. He came to her
he
and
came to
offered
her.
her money.
Yes.
Like, she was not checking for him. Okay, this is not Larissa, aka Boots. Okay, this isn't a bad bitch don't need an Uber. This is, she was minding her business with her husband. You said it yourself. She hesitated. She not a gold digger. In this case, the dude is kind of gross because how much of a fucking lame are you that you want a woman so bad that the only way you know to get her is by offering to pay? I'm
And
sure
that's
Ken
alone.
didn't
She's
offer Trisha
married.
no money to get her married coochie. So I'm just saying. I'm
Yes, he
just saying.
did. Wait, hold on, back up, because you. Yes, he did.
Not a lot.
He paid the bills. He bought the son a car.
I have a feeling he bought the son a car and paid for the car insurance monthly on it. I don't think he was really paying the bills. I really don't.
You don't think he was paying all the bills in the house?
She an engineer. He drive a box truck from state to
Yeah.
state plotting on single moms. Like, I feel like she does better. When she was on Pop the Balloon, she said she's an engineer with NASA.
Oh, I didn't know
She's
that.
paid well. Yes, Trisha's fine. Naya said, gave the Bob with the Bob for a Robert. My God, today. He says, spend one night with her. They were the ones to bring up sex. Right. Right.
Hmm.
She ain't no gold digger. She just
Yeah.
sees the moment. Carpe diem.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, like, this would be an interesting poly situation here with these three. Like, imagining, you have the one who has the millions, and then he was like okay with it, and then she did it because it was life changing for them. So he was like, "Yeah, just go ahead and like one time, that's it." Like, he had an attitude, but it wasn't like it was. He wasn't throwing no tantrum the way I know men would throw a tantrum if this were them in their situations. Like, he didn't do all of that. He just saw the opportunity of like, okay, well, it is $1 million. Like, we need to think about this. And it was like, no, we don't need to think about this. What are you saying? Like, I'm the one
I
that has
know
to
some
suffer
people
it.
might be like $1 million in the 90s was a lot more today, but it still ain't enough.
It wasn't enough for you.
It still wasn't enough. Even back then, that was not enough. It
That's
wasn't.
crazy. That's
It's not.
crazy. Yes. So that's the end of my slideshow. So now we're gonna open it up to some questions that I have from Mrs. Best that I couldn't fit on the slideshow. I had to remove it because StreamYard be tripping. You can't have these things over 50, whatever that shit is called. All right. So let me get my questions. I put them on a separate slideshow and I emailed them to myself.
At least
Get
you
my
got them done. That's all that matters.
No, yeah, I got them done, but shit, I was like, oh, so it's so much better to put on the slideshow. So let me see. So this is a this or that relationship question. So
I
okay,
appreciate you, Kiwan. We appreciate you. We appreciate you.
yes, we appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for
Kiwan
doing
is
that.
also covering This Is Polly, which is the show that James keeps referencing. It's also on the Mrs. Best Reviews channel, which those watching from this channel are aware of. But Kiwan JTV is also a creator covering This Is Polly. She's also covering Love After Lockup. She will eventually make it to my channel to do a review for Love After Lockup, but give her a like, support her channel, like, comment, and subscribe to her. Why not? Do it to everybody Black, as a matter of fact. Because
Okay,
I meant
so
it when I said Black History Month was all year. I meant it.
okay, so this one, so these are funny. So I don't know who wrote them. They need to raise whoever wrote this. So
Praise.
they said that if the fate of your husband's life was in your hands and you had to eat a rat so that he would survive, would you eat the rat or allow him to rest in peace?
I would eat the rat. I like my man. I would eat the rat. Also, in some cultures, they do eat them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd eat it. I'd
You
be
would
okay.
eat the rat? Okay.
And just make sure that I throw it up right after.
Okay. So the next question is that um you are stranded in a cave surrounding bats and other living creatures. For your bills to be paid for 1 year exclusively. The key is that your husband does not work. Would you sleep in the cave for one night for your bills to pay for 1 year while your husband is staying at home not working? Or would you just stay in your current situation where he works and you don't? I think this is easy for you because
Yeah. I'll have a master's degree in May of next year. I'm pretty good. I also have a degree in mental health. Y'all always go be fucked up at the head. I'm cool. Um, we're not sleeping in no fucking cave. And okay, I make enough to support me and him by myself. We cool. We good. We good. I'm cool. I'm gonna question
I'm
why he's
gonna
not working, but we gonna be bat free.
I'm gonna sleep in the cave and I'll allow him not to work and have our bills paid for a year.
Nadia,
I can do
please.
I could do it. I think I could do it. I
Naya
really
said
could.
a fucking cave, right? Mr. Best would be looking at me. That might be the thing to inspire him to get a job if he didn't have one. You never know. Use it in your favor. Work it out. I'm also a daddy's girl. Dad,
Mhm.
the PG&E bill was a bit high this week. Shout out to my dad. Okay.
Yes. Right. So that is a trade proposition, by the way. That is a trade
Why
proposition question. I'm gonna
why
ask a
is
love
it
triangle.
puppy ass bread and I'ma choose a cave? Right. Shanny said, hell to the no. I will figure it out. Independent women. All the women who independent.
Yeah.
So, yo,
So I guess the man just sleeps in the cave because like that's a year worth of bills being
I
paid.
got a degree. I got work experience in retail and waitressing. Okay. It's gonna be all right. I got some talents. If I gotta be singing like that man on the internet from Vegas talking about the lady going to jail, I'm gonna be on the street singing for dollars, but I'm not gonna be in no cave with no bats. That's right, Naya. God got us.
okay. All right. The next question is your husband has a new secretary, but does not tell you that she is a woman. And you go to his office, surprisingly seeing a woman there. What is your first reaction?
You said what? Repeat that.
I said, your husband hired a new secretary that is a woman, and he did not tell you that he hired her. The question is, when you go to his office, what is your first reaction when you see her?
Say hello, greet her, be very nice, and then take my husband in the office behind her and fuck him as loud as I can so that she understands we still active and to stay in her place. I'm marking my territory. Oh, that's what I'm doing. That's all.
Because that's me. What's the obsessed movie? Because that's immediately where I'm going with this. I'm like, wait a minute. Is she the woman in obsessed that kept calling me the wrong name? Like,
Lord,
see, that's where my mind would go. Be like, wait a minute, what's going on? Who is this? Why is she here? Why you
no.
didn't tell me?
No, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go in the office. We're gonna do what we gotta do real loud so she can hear. And then I'm gonna call my homegirls and start. I'm gonna call Leona and
Oh
start.
God!
And you know she good for shout out to Leona. I'm gonna
Right.
call Leona and have her bring up how I used to be back in the day so the hoe know I fight. She'll understand.
That's
She'll
an
understand.
innocent lady trying to do her job. And
No,
y'all sitting up
bitch.
there. This is not a love triangle situation. This is an
Absolutely
innocent
not. I'm a
person.
Gemini. We're possessive and toxic when needed. It's up. Oh, so you
Listen,
going to jail tonight, man? Yes, Shanny, you're aware. Shayna, we it's been all day. I'm
all
tired.
day. I'm tired too. We just try to get this hour-long live done so we can say we did our time and then go ahead and go. No, I only have 3 more questions left, but I'm just like, hey, listen, these questions were funny as fuck. I was like, I could see this is best. She gonna kill this person. She
I'm
go.
not gonna kill her. I'm gonna find other ways to make her suffer. I'm trained in the mind. I'll get you another way.
I'm trying to tell you that not its own site. Wait a minute.
She
I'm an
said, I'm gonna
overreact to
overreact to
the
this point. Exactly. Let her know. Make her think
Y'all got
twice.
to have faith in people. Y'all cannot think that
I
that
have
lady
faith
is
in my man. I don't have faith in these hoes.
that lady is trying to just work her good little job,
You don't
trying to
know
make
that,
her little
James.
money.
You don't
Like
know that. That's okay. When James find a husband, I'ma check the receptionist for them both. I'm here.
I'm just gonna think that's a nice, wholesome lady that's just trying to work her little job, and you
Faith
know,
without this work is dead. Amen. Amen. Naya. See, all my people on the East Coast. What am I doing in California still? I
I
gotta
keep
get out
trying
of
to tell
there.
you, but she got to get out of there. I keep trying to tell y'all better convince her to get out of California.
It doesn't snow
Okay,
in the winter. Leave me alone.
okay. So your husband found out that there's this brand new company that is seeking investors, and he invests your entire savings as they said that he would get a 36% return immediately. The company goes under because they didn't have enough investors, leaving you two without anything. How do you react to that? And what will be your next move?
Hmm. I think the next move realistically would be to consult an attorney, aka
Yes.
slash forward slash a financial advisor. I would be looking for a legal way to have his paycheck come to me. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
took my life savings and you made this choice, so now your direct deposit is coming to my account. If he fought that, then my attorney would guide me on how to divorce him and let him take on all of that debt since he invested without me. But I'm not leaving that situation fucked over in any way. There's no way.
Yes.
I'm a
Yes.
Gemini. We're vengeful. If you fuck me, I'm gonna find a way to fuck you harder with no Vaseline right in the rear end. It's just how we are.
So your response is not really to get mad. Your response is to say, hey, how can we get this money back? And if we can't get it back, your response is, okay, when you go to work, your next direct deposit will go
It's
back
all
into
coming to
my
me.
account.
Mhm.
Okay. And then
You're not going
if
to
he
be allowed
fights
to
it,
handle finances after you do something secretive with finances. Elena,
mhm.
just saying.
Yeah, Elena, this was for you. I
It,
found this question for you, just saying. Hey girl, we love you. We do. But yeah, that's crazy as hell. And yeah, there's no way. All right. So the last question is, oh, this is a long distance one. This was the one that was cracking me up. Okay. So the scenario is you live in LA, your husband lives in New York. You're on opposite ends of the world from each other. You work a very busy job where you're probably working more than 60 hours a week. He is an entrepreneur that owns a strip club. He does not call you for 3 nights in a row, but he swears up and down when he does call you on night number 4 that he has not done anything that will compromise your relationships. Do you automatically trust him, or do you suspect your first thought that most people would suspect, which is he may have cheated within those 3 days?
um, based on the fact that they both have busy careers and they choose to live separately, if your first thought is that your man cheated, you're with the wrong person. I wouldn't just
Hmm.
assume that they cheated, especially if we're both busy. Like, I wouldn't just assume he cheated. I would assume that if I'm so busy wherever I'm at, that I probably didn't notice that we ain't spoke for days as it
3 days,
is.
yeah, that's what my
Yeah.
first thought was too.
Also, it sounds like this is the dynamic of that relationship. So to just assume cheating would be problematic. I think
Well,
that's
no,
an
I didn't
example of
assume. Oh,
people
go
who
ahead.
don't handle long distance well. Long distance is not meant for everybody. It takes a
It
lot
ain't,
of
no.
security in yourself, confidence in yourself, confidence in your partner. It takes a lot of trust, not just of your partner, but like of yourself, your friends, because of the type of advice they might give, like all sorts of different things. But I wouldn't,
Um, she said, I wouldn't assume unless he was inconsistent a lot.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I wouldn't assume either. I would have probably been like, because me, it's easy for 3 days to go by and I don't call anybody. We talking about my mama, we talking about friends, we talking about like I've been here like 11 days and I still have not talked to almost maybe more than half my family. I haven't talked to my siblings. I haven't talked to my stepmom. I haven't talked to anybody. And it's not that I don't have the time. It's just like literally I have been busy. So I can't really, say so. And I'm not even an entrepreneur. So I'm lagging a little bit. Hold on, I'm gonna go off camera for a minute. Because I was lagging before. Can you guys still hear me?
Hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna go off camera because I'm lagging. But yeah, it was one of those situations where I don't immediately think the worst, but because of the environment, I see why this person wrote this question because that's a very specific career choice that a man would make. But it's one that pays very, very well. If y'all don't know anything about the entertainment business of owning an exotic dance club, they make a lot of money. A
They
lot of
do.
money. Have had a lot of crazy ass rules. Me and Mrs. Best had a friend that did exotic dancing,
I have a lot of
and
friends that still do it. They make money. They're
yeah.
doing well. They
But
not hurting.
she had to give up at least 40% of her tips. And I was just thinking to myself, damn, that's more than half. That's like half.
Well, when you're in them redneck Arizona strip clubs, that'll happen.
But yes, but that is another trade proposition. So I want you guys to understand what trade propositions are. A lot of the times we don't know them right away because our main thought is a lot of times things don't come in place of our relationships. We really are in there. So when we find love triangles and things like that, we should be able to know the difference in between them too. Especially when we have shows like This Is Polly, where they're giving us a lot of love triangles, but a lot of trade propositions as well, because people are giving up their whole paychecks to put in one pot so they can feed 17 kids that not all of them may not be theirs. I'm just saying that's kind of how we're looking at those situations. So we came on here just to kind of explain those further, give y'all some fun little movies that, you know, had those same propositions or same triangles in them. So you guys will know. So next week, when we're introduced to the new couples, and probably reunited with some of the old ones who gave us a show this week, we'll have a better, clear understanding, because we have to start talking these things out. Because as I said, that show was crazy, and I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this new way that people are, well, not new way, but this way that is newly exposed that people are living. So that's why we're doing this. We're doing this. I don't know if next week or the next time we're live on this channel, we'll talk more about that, but I'm definitely going to find some topics. But this one was a fun one. I think we got a lot out of this and a lot better understanding and a lot of different perspectives. So we encourage you guys, give us your perspective. What do you see in these situations? Monogamy, polyamorous, give us your take on those. Could you do those kind of relationships? What would it take for you to, you know, go that route? Or would you ever go that route? Or would you never go that route? Let us know where you stand. So that way we can kind of understand, you know, that as well and have different perspective. Mrs. Best, you want to add?
Just know anybody who comments, it's always a safe space on mine or James's channel or our joint channels. That is all. I have fun.
We had fun. Well, thank you guys. This is once again, I'm gonna come back on camera now because I think I'm done. Yes, this has been a great. Oh, I'm still lagging. Oh well. This has been a great time. We appreciate you guys very much. I will see you guys tomorrow on my channel for Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I believe Mrs. Best is doing Real Housewives of Rhode Island, I believe.
I have Rhode Island. I also have 90 Day Fiance. And then today I have the Shy that will be coming out as well. It was supposed to come yesterday, but I have a lot of shows. I'm also in finals, so I'm sorry if I'm late.
No worries. But we thank you so much. We appreciate you. You work very hard. And I will see you guys on my next live. Till tomorrow, you guys. Have a good one now. Bye-bye.
Oh, yeah. Just like 1, 2, 3rd. Everything I say, I learn. Oh, yeah. That's for sure. That's my word.